Hi guys, I hope all of you are having a nice Sunday. So let's discuss cholesterol. That's like that's like the topic on everyone's mind. No matter how much ever we tell, somebody is always asking like, "What about cholesterol? What about cholesterol?" So let me just tell you what about cholesterol for good. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, cholesterol is not fat. It's something called sterol. It's an alcohol. Basically, anything that ends with an "ol" is chemically an alcohol. And when because of its ring structure, like molecular structure is that of a ring, that structure is called a sterol, and that one of the compounds is a cholesterol. So why do we, first of all, the first thing that comes to our mind is cholesterol is fat. So why do we think cholesterol and fat are the same things? There is a simple reason for this. The reason is that much like fat, cholesterol or this molecule is not water soluble. Like put some oil in water, you see them floating around. Same way, when you put cholesterol in water or anything water based, like blood for instance, it just floats around. It is not soluble in water, and that is why all of these things which does not, mix with water, which does not mix with water, are called lipids. That's why we use the term lipids, and that refers to every single thing that cannot be dissolved in water. So when you consume something and when your body gets cholesterol, how is it transported? Because it's not moving around in blood, because that's not possible. It's not dissolving like say glucose. Glucose dissolves in blood, in the water, but that does not happen with cholesterol. So how does it move around? So for that purpose, they need something called as lipoproteins, which are basically, you can think of it like cars, right? Like cars which transport things which cannot dissolve in blood or water. This includes fat, this includes cholesterol, this includes vitamins like vitamin D. So anything which cannot be dissolved in water and needs transportation, they have this, they packaged in this thing called lipoprotein, and it moves through blood. So that's how it works. And depending on the size of these lipoproteins, you get LDL, which low density lipoprotein, HDL, which is high density lipoprotein, likewise VLDL, and all this. These are like carriers. Uh, so one of the co-passengers in this unit, in this car, is triglycerides. Another one will be your cholesterol. So that is the reason why when we are like measuring the cholesterol in your blood or doing the lipid profile, you're getting a breakup of all these things. You're getting cholesterol, total cholesterol, you're getting LDL, you're getting HDL, you're getting VLDL, you're getting triglycerides. So that is the reason. That is where the similarity between fats and cholesterol ends. They are essentially co-passengers in the same car called as lipoprotein. That's the similarity. And another similarity you can say is that cholesterol and fats are often found in the same food, dairy products. Say like butter, you can find it in eggs, meat. These all contain cholesterol and fats. That's where the similarity ends, and there's nothing beyond that. So don't think that you're consuming fat will increase your cholesterol. About how your cholesterol is and what is the role in its body, I must say cholesterol is one of the most important molecules in the body. It's super critical because cholesterol is where all your hormones like testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, all these like cortisol, all of these steroid hormones essentially come from this basic unit called cholesterol. And that, for that reason, it's super important for your body. And guess who produces cholesterol? Not just from food, okay? So cholesterol comes from your liver, or the liver is the main producer of cholesterol. Your liver produces cholesterol. So why do we fear cholesterol in eggs? Right? Your liver produces up to 80 to 90% of all cholesterol in your body. Like other organs do produce a little bit, but its cholesterol is mainly coming from liver. So when you consume, say, eggs, you're getting some cholesterol from there. And what happens to this cholesterol from the liver? It starts producing less, right? Because I'm getting from outside, I don't need to produce much. Your body is not stupid. That's the first thing you need to understand. Your body is not stupid. So when you're getting cholesterol from your dietary source, your body stops producing as much because you're getting from outside. So what I essentially am trying to say is dietary cholesterol, or rather cholesterol in blood, almost has no role in elevating your blood cholesterol. I'm just coming again, like cholesterol in from your food like eggs or cheese has no role in increasing your body cholesterol, because this is a very tightly regulated system. More cholesterol you have from food, less the body produces. Less you have from food, more the body produces. Simple as that. I hope things are clear by now. So what is it that you should be looking in a lipid profile when you're getting those tests done? Is it the total cholesterol? Is it the LDL? Is it the HDL? What the hell should I look at? Simple thing you should know is that lipid profile, total cholesterol is not the priority, and neither is the LDL. The number one thing I would suggest you focus on is triglycerides. Never let this number go above a certain range, right? So I would cap this at 100. Your lab ranges will say 150, but from an optimal health point of view, I would say 100. Keep it below 100. If that is the case, you're safe. Next thing, or the thing you should be looking at the same time, is HDL, the so-called good cholesterol. So HDL, try to get your HDL as high as possible. So for a man, I would recommend, for men, I would recommend above 40 at least. If you can get it above 50, great, awesome. And for a female, I would suggest anything above 50. If you can get 60, perfect, right? So the most important parameter you need to look out for is something called the triglyceride to HDL ratio. Meaning your triglyceride should be low, HDL should be as high as possible, and this ratio should be less than 2. If it is below 1, that's awesome. But if it's between, say, 2 and 4, that's an alarm for you. That's like, okay, you're screwing up your health, you need to do something about it. But if suppose the value is above 4, like say 6 or 8, I've seen cases up to 16. What does that suggest? That suggests you're totally screwed up. Your health is royally fucked up. I'm just being blunt here. Your health is totally fucked up, and you need to do something. Otherwise, you're ending up with a heart attack or a stroke, and you're landing up in the hospital. That's what it means. Okay, it might not happen like drop down dead all of a sudden, but it will definitely happen sooner rather than later, right? So get this ratio below 2. First target should be below 4 for those who are very high, but then below 2, and ideally closer to 1, or even better, less than 1. That should be the target for you guys. So what is LDL a concern? That's the question on everyone's mind. So I'll just give you multiple perspective on this. So LDL is not just one particle size, right? One lipoprotein size. That's not the case with LDL. LDL is a spectrum. I'll just make up some numbers I'll just, for ease of explanation, say size 2 to size 6. I can call them as small particles, and let's say I can call them as LDL. Does that mean all of these particles are equally harmful? No. But we did not have, in the past, we did not have ways to, separate out these particles. Now we have the technology, and with newer science, newer studies, what it says is that LDL particles itself can be considered in two kinds, like pattern A and pattern B. Pattern A, and out of this, only the one of the kind is really harmful for you, the other kind is not. So how do we know which kind you have more of, right? There are tests like NMR spectroscopy and all that to split out the particles, but that's expensive and that's not widely available. So this is where this ratio I spoke of earlier, triglyceride to HDL ratio, becomes critical. So what studies suggest is that if you have this ratio below 2, the likelihood of the nice kind or the good kind of LDL being more is high, and the likelihood of this bad benign kind being high is very less. So I'll just give you an example. Okay, this is not exactly how it works, but I'll just give you an example for simplicity. So let's say you have your triglyceride. Let's say your LDL is 100, and your friend also has an LDL 100, but your triglyceride HDL ratio is say 1.5, and that person, so your friend's HDL triglyceride ratio is suppose 5. What does that indicate? You have the same LDL. Does that mean equal risk? No. So first of all, you should understand that you should never read a parameter in isolation. You have to look at all the parameters together in conjunction, and especially lipid profile and other parameters too. So I'm just talking from the perspective of lipid profile. So both of you have same LDL, but one you have a lesser triglyceride HDL ratio, he has a higher triglyceride HDL ratio. So what this means is that you with a lesser ratio means like out of 100 particles, I'm just giving a number, okay, this is not exactly how it works, but out of, if you have 100 LDL particles, you can expect 80 of them to be the good kind and 20 of them to be the bad kind, because you have a very good ratio. And your friend with the same LDL, out of 100, you can expect him to have 80 or 90% of 90 of it to be the bad kind, only 10 of it to be the good kind. I hope you get the difference. So this is where the difference between, like, this is why you should never look at LDL in isolation and be worried about it. LDL alone does not pose a threat. It's when all the other factors, triglyceride HDL ratio, inflammation, HSCRP, HbA1c, fasting insulin, when all these other homocysteine, when you have all these parameters going haywire, when there is like super high levels of inflammation in your body, that's when this LDL becomes a problematic entity. Otherwise, if all these parameters are good, triglyceride HDL is very good, then why do you fear LDL? I wouldn't fear LDL even if it is 150. I wouldn't fear if it is 200. Right? I wouldn't even fear if it's 200, provided other things are sorted out. Right? So what is the key here? The key here is that if your LDL is high, but everything else, every inflammatory parameter in your body is normal, is very good, then you don't have to worry about it. Now suppose LDL is high and every parameter is messed up, then your priority shouldn't be fixing LDL, fix all the other things and LDL will be a non-issue then, right? So the focus, just the tunnel vision focus on just the LDL is bullshit, and that should not be the case. And why is there so much focus on LDL? I'm just going to be giving you the blunt truth. The simple fact of the matter is there is a medicine to reduce LDL called statins. There is no medicine to, and it partially, some of the statins can partially reduce triglycerides as well. But there is no medicine to reduce, say, insulin levels or anything of that sort. So that is how, use common sense, you understand what I'm referring to. That is why there is so much focus on LDL, which if you talk to any sensible doctor, anybody with an idea about this, they will agree with this. So this is the whole thing. LDL is not your enemy. Cholesterol is not your enemy. Have as much cholesterol as you want. Just make sure that everything else is fine. Just make sure that you are not stressed. You are eating the right things. You are working out. Everything else will fall in place. It's not a huge issue. I hope this clears up a lot of doubts about cholesterol. Pretty sure I'll be making a bigger video on this. Like, this is a topic that requires a lot of in-depth analysis and simplification for everyone to get this. And I don't think people easily understand this. But I think this will be a good start, and there will be a lot more videos to come. I hope you get this whole whatever I made discussions. Bye.